Kia ora, Cancer. Thanks for joining me. This is your reading for this new moon in Gemini. Quite a fast, speedy time. It feels like to me. But do check out your moon ascendant, Venus and Jupiter, for a more well-rounded kind of angle of this period in the lunar cycle. And thanks for joining me. And remember, these readings are really general, so let's get into it. We've already got one card out, which is the Devil. The Devil in the Thoth deck is encouraging. It's very encouraging to appreciate all the fruits that life has to offer, all the gifts that life is in itself. Of course, there is of course, there's the other side of that, which is a sort of being bonded or level of bondage. Look, there's roadworks outside, and I've just started. Not much I can do, so sorry about that noise. It's anyway, let's focus on the reading in hand. So, as I said, we've got this gorgeous, glorious Devil. We understand the full, rounded nature of that card. You know, the heights of it and the depths of it. We have, coming up next, we've got the Chariot. So, you know, as I said, fast moving. This Chariot is incredibly fast. The only way that it actually gets moving is a sort of level of balance here of aspects, you know, of understanding of psyche and unconscious, subconscious, what is conscious, what's not conscious. There's a level of balance here that enables the Chariot, which in my mind is a very female card. It really comes full force out of those seas of Binah, primordial water. But that balance and holding that disc, because things are coming into form for you, Cancer. It is your card. Let's face it, the Chariot. It kind of is your card. With that, we have the Seven of Discs, a review of sorts. In some ways, things are moving fast, but we're taking our time. Is there something we're taking our time? We're watching. It's just what I get. We're watching the grass grow. Now, that's okay. Is there possibly something in that, in this Devil card that is slowing that Chariot down a wee bit? That's just what I'm getting. But once there's balance, it's like you liken it to, for example, I think it's the bumblebee, or possibly other bees. But there's a point where if their third leg or something is lifted, the wings automatically start going. So there's a sort of, I'm not saying there's a robotic nature to the Chariot, but there's a formula to it. You know what I mean? There's a formula to that movement, relies on balance, because it's been ready for those works in motion to come through. Because as it moves, it's creating that, Cancer. See what I mean? And in that Seven of Discs, there is a review going on in terms of what you put your energy into and what you've seen from that, what you've reaped from it, as much as sort of, okay, yeah, I'm going to just wait and see what, I'm just going to wait for that. Gosh, it's taking ages, you know, that seed to form into a into a actual flower or a vegetable or whatever it happens to be. So we've got, and you've got time, you know, you've got time. Wow. You've got time. So we've got 3 cards. We will clarify, of course, we always do. So we had that 7 of Discs, a sort of review. Now we're having another review with the Queen of Discs. She looks back, looks at the, you know, we're up high. Excuse me, Cancer. Looking back over that terrain that she's moved through. There's an experienced Queen here in matters of, dare I say it, manifestation, Cancer. This is an adept Queen. She herself is looking back and seeing, okay, so yeah, I see that when I walked through that swamp, you know, it wasn't such a good idea. I got stuck, my leggings got a bit wet, and that desert where I found that oasis was wonderful. You know, there's a review going on in that Queen as well, with that Queen. We then have the star connecting to the cosmos, you know, the great source. In doing so, healing, a moving of the waters, a kind of baptism of sorts, but primarily healing and dreams and wishes coming true. You're allowing more. You're able to allow more in, Cancer. We get the 3 of Cups and understanding about, yeah, we're not totally on our own here. This is a wonderful card of celebration or people coming together. Possibly like-minded people coming together. Possibly very good friends. It's a beautiful card of celebration. It's kind of like you've had, you know, for example, you've had a really big sort of project on, or something to do with work or life. Life is a project, is it not? But let's go through and clarify. And you've come through it. You've come through it, Cancer, which is wonderful, with great success and an ability to receive more from those that you care about or those that are of like mind. For some reason I do get that quite strongly. So let's look at the Devil and we clarify for Cancer. This Devil, we get the 5 of Swords. Taking credit where credit is due. I have been getting this coming up a lot through a lot of readings. 5 of Swords, deceptive and conflictual, but strongly taking credit. I'm saying someone else is taking credit for your efforts. I'm not saying that. I'm saying has, possibly, in the past. And you've allowed that. But you've come back on board again, Cancer, in a big time way. There may have been, I don't usually speak like this about this card, there may have been a deceptive quality somewhere within your ability to, not your ability to enjoy life, but from a external zone or person. When I was just now, this fell out, the Lovers. So, you know, the Lovers is a card primarily of choice, but also synthesizing the dualistic natures of oneself, of life. It's a divine marriage. I think you've understood these aspects of yourself. You've integrated them. And this just came out, Seven of Wands. I don't feel like you need to defend that to anyone anymore. But I think at some point you did. So, let's look at the Chariot. The Chariot. We get the Two of Cups again. The Lovers, the Chariot. Is there someone on this journey with you? Has there been some reconciliation? It possibly has been. The Two of Cups, again, it's a card of choice primarily. It's also very, very harmonious and reciprocal. You know, I kind of see a Cancer Chariot going hand in hand out of that, hand in hand with someone else from those seas of Bina. It's like the Ace of Cups just came down and sprinkled itself on you. Interesting. And the moon dropped out. There are some things we see at certain times. Like timing's a big thing, isn't it? And other things that we don't see. But the moon card is, we walk through this valley, you know, we enter likening it to, you know, Egyptian mythology. We walk through the gates where, you know, through the gatekeeper's Anubis. And we enter that valley. I'm speaking of, you know, becoming more aware of things that have been not overly conscious, that you've not been overly conscious of. There's someone else involved in this, Cancer. I do feel that in this reading. So let's just look at the review card of the 7, or the waiting card of the 7. There's 2 sevens. There's a 5. There's a bit of assessment going on. So the 7 of discs, please. Can we clarify that for Cancer? Wow. Yeah, you've from the bottom to the top is what I hear. You know that Talking Head song? From the bottom to the top. We get the Magician. We get the 10 of Cups first and foremost, and the Magician. Reinvigoration, resurrection, reintegration. There's a lot of re's. We get the Magician as well with that 7. It's quite interesting. Cancer, Queen of Discs, please. Wow. Queen of Discs. Queen of Discs sits on that hilltop. There's time, see? Something about time in here, and having time, and have had time to reintegrate, reconcile is another word I get. Reconciliation, as I said before. So we're looking at this Queen. We get the Queen of Cups. At home from the bottom to the top. As I was saying, from the bottom of the mountain. From the top of the mountain, I should say, to the bottom of the seas. Self-sustaining, both of these queens. Very strong in their domain. And there's a nice integration of earth and water, Cancer. earth and water. Materialization, manifestation is what I get here. And you're doing it. We can see that you're doing it. You've got the Magician. You've got these 10 cups. This is in review. It seems like a lot has occurred for you. You've received a lot in taking a position of just stopping for a little bit and reviewing. It's really amazing. It's given you a lot of healing. We've got the Four of Swords. We take to our chamber and rest and wait just for a time. There's all this time in here. Let's have a look at the star, the healing, as much as the Four. Yeah, it's a reconciliation, I do think. The Six of Cups with someone that you've known for a long time. They may have come back into your life. I mean, I just get this. I don't always get these sort of relationshipy things, but I do feel that Cancer. So for some Cancers out there, this may well be the case. The Six of Cups, beautiful offering from the heart, mutuality. We see mutuality all through this. This is part of your healing, whatever has gone on in the past 6 months, 2 years, 4 years, 10 years. There are cycles ending at this time. And this is showing us, Cancer, in quite a complete way, a kind of cycle that you've been in. You've been in. Seven of Discs. Waiting for those seeds to pop up. I do get this heavily, this waiting, whether you've waited for somebody or waited for the right time. There's waiting, and it's been useful. It's actually been necessary. Now you'd think, you know, that Temperance might pop up at some point, but in fact this waiting has been, let's see if it did pop up, this waiting has been in a really earthy kind of way. It's not like, it's very earthed out. Waiting. No, we don't have any Temperance here. We've got 3 cards though, looking at this journey for you. First and foremost, the Knight of Wands, impulsive, rash, reactionary. The Queen of Swords, discerning. I think you've been in quite a good position of power. We've got 3 queens here. And this Knight of Wands, very sexy, very charismatic individual. And I think you've been, or have done in this process, really been quite clear how you want things to proceed. And it's worked. The Wheel of Fortune. We find ourselves on this wheel. I think, Cancer, you're on top. You're going for another go, right? So reconciliation, I do feel. We'll just grab an Art Oracle card. Wonderful. I don't think, which are great, these beautiful, Cancer, we get, which I think is kind of appropriate. We get Frida Kahlo, beautiful, amazing artist. So little snippets of life, work, and inspiration. Frida Kahlo, convalescence lasts a lifetime. You don't spell painting without pain. Art is your most loyal companion. Externalize your internal world. I think that you've managed to do that, Cancer, with a lot of bravery here and taking charge, like Frida. So I hope you got something out of this reading, and ka kite until next readings, which will be, it is a full moon in Sagittarius, I believe. So we'll see you then, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed this. Ka kite.